Welcome to another edition of the Market Opening Gong, where we give you updates from the Nigerian capital market. This edition captures the market performance for Friday, January 31st, 2020. From the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the all-share index closed at 28,843.53 basis points with a market capitalization of 14.857 trillion naira, meaning it depreciated by minus 0.65%. The equities market closed the week bearish as investors lost 404.5 billion naira. Cordville, Jais Bank and Champion were top gainers, while NACO, PZ and Unity Bank were among the top losers. Zenith Bank, Unilever and United Bank for Africa were the top players in terms of trade volumes. For the FMDQ OTC exchange, the debt market size closed at 30.58 trillion naira. The NAFEX rate closed at 363 naira 13 kobo to a dollar, while the I&E FX rate opened at 363 naira 43 kobo and closed at 363 naira 97 kobo to a dollar. Looking at the NASD OTC market, the NSI closed at 698.56 basis points with a market capitalization of 502.29 billion naira. Volume of shares traded was 533,129 and the value traded 30.946 in 9 deals executed. You can also check the Nigerian economic indices on the dashboard displaying on the screen. For the highlights from last week Friday, InterSwitch, a leading digital finance and commerce platform, listed 23 billion naira of its 30 billion naira series at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Looking at the bearish performance of the equities market, WebTV engaged Mr. Andrew Saku, a dealing member at the Nigerian Stock Exchange and market analyst for Capital Care and Trust Securities Limited, to give his view on the developments in the market and what to expect in the weeks ahead.
If you were already in the market will certainly not be as exciting as it was a week ago because you will have lost some momentum this week. For the person that did not participate in the early weeks of January and is looking forward to incursion into the market, certainly now appears better, because if he's going to come into the market at this point, it's going to be cheaper for him to buy a GT, a Zenith, and the like. So, of course, there has been some pressure, that kept the market on its knee, particularly this week. And that is riding certainly on the curve of the decision flowing from the MPC decision, to jack up the CRR for banks. But we cannot at this point truly juxtapose the direct effect of that decision upon the market in terms of the precise dimension. However, because we think that interest rates might inch up consequent upon that decision, some investors are likely to think that the equity space may be affected, and part of that is probably what has informed the behavior of the stocks this week. But I think more fundamentally is for investors to look at issues around the fundamentals of these companies that are listed. So don't forget also that we're in a dividend earnings season. So consequent upon the release of majority of companies' results coming in, if they get exciting in terms of dividend yield and in the expectations around it, we should expect that some of these prices are going to tweak upwards. So my counsel will be for existing holders not to be weighed down by any offsetting decision that may have come from monetary policy pronouncements, and then await the release of clear results coming from companies. That way they will be able to make clearer decisions. Going forward into February, incidentally today is the end of the month of January. I think on the whole, January has been relatively a positive month for the equities. Whether or not this will permeate in the month of February and maybe throughout the end of this quarter will largely be determined by some factors, including, like I said, the release of company results and the extent to which individual companies, do well or otherwise.
For the key market and economic events to watch, the Nigerian Stock Exchange will host a Finance Act workshop to give further insight into the bill signed last month by President Muhammadu Buhari. It is a new month of February, and we are hopeful that the market will kick off on a positive performance and trajectory. And that will be all for this edition of the Market Opening Gong. You can visit our website www.proshaeng.com to get more updates from our news stories and videos. You can also follow our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching and have a pleasant day.